stop this.
Despite our loss yesterday, we still support Super Eagles of Nigeria. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni Ajishafe. Well, Super Eagles actually, they fought hard yesterday, but they lost out against Guinea. They called them silly national. It was a fantastic performance from the Guinean counterpart. We lost out in that game 2-0 over there in Abu Dhabi in a friendly game before the AFCON will be starting. We have so many stories to look at on the show. These are, we're having the studio alongside that's Upper Josiah. Good to have you, Upper.
Good morning, sir. Good
yes, I see that smile. At least that song was kind of very cool, right?
Absolutely.
A good one there. Let's look at this story we have for you on the show. 360 Sport. We start with Super Eagles played against Guinea City National yesterday over there in Abu Dhabi. Well, we lost out. We stumbled against in that game. It was a 2-0 loss that Super Eagles actually had. We fought hard, but the Eagles couldn't fly in that game. That's not the end of it. In fact, no one said this could be a blessing in disguise before. If Eagles should begin to win this way, they could be carried away. And now that they've lost this game, it's a clarion call to them to sit tight and see that they need to perform. For the fact that they scored 12-0 against a UAE team doesn't mean they've actually gotten it right. But right now, that yesterday's game is an eye-opener for Super Eagles. You agree with that, Josiah?
Absolutely. From the way the coach set up his team, you would know that he didn't take these games seriously. And even though the squad is kind of near to the starting 11 that we have, but the way I saw it, he didn't want to risk his top team. So he wanted to give opportunity to see what the second team would be able to produce.
Maybe he should have done that in that friendly against a club, not against a country.
And the unfortunate thing is we are going to still meet about two Guinean teams, the Equatorial Guinea and Guinea-Bissau.
Okay, let's look at that squad that was used by Coach Pizarro in that game. We actually see that particular weak score there. It was a weakened one because a lot of Nigerians that follow football felt, okay, they shouldn't have used that particular score. Look at this particular list. Nwabali, the new goalkeeper, was at the goal. Even though he actually made some saves. Zaidu Sanusi, Ekong captain, Osai Samuel, Omeru, Awaziem, Abdullahi, Onyedika, Chukwueze, Simon and Sadiq. These are players that actually played. Simon not be able to convert a spot kick. And you look at Solitude, Uzoho, you have Ainola, the Shemia Ajayi, Musa, Onyeka, all of them on the bench in that particular encounter. Would you agree that this particular squad was weak against Guinea?
No, I don't agree.
Okay.
But I can understand why people consider it to be a weak squad. But looking at them, they play for their respective teams. You know, so I don't expect to call them, in as much as the only challenge they have is they've not played together as a team, this particular team. And we are used to seeing faces that that seems to be missing in this squad. But they did well. Had it been Moses converted that spot kick, it would have been a different story. And we have a player that hit the post. So a lot could have gone in our favor. But just as you've said earlier, if we had win this match, the expectation would have been high and they would have felt a bit relaxed. So I just thank God they lost.
No, seriously, a lot of people have been like, well, it's good that they lost that game because even though they've been talking that we are ready, we know ourselves and all that, this will actually put them in their place to see that they need to sit tight. You are going to play against Equatorial Guinea. You are going to play against Guinea-Bissau or thereabout and Cote d'Ivoire. So it means you have faced just one Guinea and you are falling in the friendly. So you have to tighten your bet by the time you face the remaining Guinean teams.
And this will bring the hype down. You know, from the last AFCON, we went with a lot of confidence. But this is an era of renewed hope. I just hope that the hope will not be crushed at the end of the day.
But really, looking at Eagles, the entire squad should be ready for this competition. AFCON, they are going in for the fourth one right now. Well, joining us from Accra on Dosted, we have Isaac Afolabi joining us to talk about this particular match that was played yesterday in Abu Dhabi between Nigeria Super Eagles versus Silly Stars, City National of Guinea there. Isaac Afolabi, good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much, Adeni. Happy New Year, and it's always a delight to talk sport with you.
Okay, good morning to Happy New Year to you. Well, right now, you saw actually it's gone viral now, the match between Nigeria and Guinea, and that match didn't end well. It ended 2-0. But some pundits are saying it could be a blessing in disguise because it will allow the Eagles to discover, to know that they are yet to get to that rhythm they actually thought they are.
Anyway, I read a lot of comments about the match, and a lot of people were talking and saying that yes, this will actually give the Nigerian opportunity, and a lot of people will now see that yes, there's no need for them to, to put more pressure. But seriously, I think we need to do more because a lot of Nigerian fans are expecting so much from this team. And, this is a team that has been criticized by a lot of people that they are not really, getting it right. The injury that actually happened to Victor Boniface was another very, very disturbing factor, very disturbing. And but we know that at least the replacement will be good. The replacement, Terry Murphy, is in now. He should be able to do it. But that yesterday's result still sent a lot of signal to a lot of Nigerian fans that can this team do the magic that was done in 2013 in South Africa. The slogan is "Let's do it again." A lot of people have been asking, can they?
Okay, we're talking with Isaac Afolabi there. He has been with us from Akure, Ondo State, joining us on the show 360 Sport. We'll be talking about Super Eagles' performance against Guinea. It wasn't a good one at all, but at least it could be a good omen for the team, for the fact that they lost that game. They will sit tight and they won't be complacent. As Nigerians are really, a lot of Nigerians are happy, in fact, that if they had won that game, that song that they will go thereabout.
But it's quite disheartening, just as he started venting his frustration. There's a lot of expectation. So when you consider the top teams, they don't underestimate any game. They try to put in their all, even if it's their B team. So I think regardless of the team that is put out there, the expectation is put forward a good fight, get the results, regardless
of what they're doing, they just make sure they put on the good results. Hopefully, they'll be coming back to Nigeria tonight and hope that they will be hosted in Lagos. But more of that will be coming on the show. But right now, let's talk about their story. That's still part of that particular Super Eagles performance. Massive blow to Super Eagles as Victor Boniface right now is injured. And the dream debut, so a lot of people have been attacking so many sentiments to this because while he was about to join the under-17, 7 days to the time, he got injured. And now the Super Eagles debut for him was also having a bleak right now because he won't be going to AFCON from the way it is. It could be out for about 5 to 6 weeks, according to the news going around. He'll be going back to Germany for that particular massive blow. Victor Boniface, Isaac Afolabi, that's a big one. You actually talked about it earlier. Boniface not being our squad will have a lot of impact that we'll feel, right?
Yes, let me start by saying that Victor Boniface started playing in Akure in Ondo State. So a lot of Ondo State people are anxiously waiting for him to be there because he's been doing so well, scoring a lot of goals for his teams in Germany. And this time around, we're expecting that, Nigerian having a formidable force in terms of Victor Boniface, Victor Osimhen, a lot of them will go there and cause a shiver into the spine of our opponents. But this time around, they will not be participating in the tournament, which is not a good news, of course, and also for him as well. But we are hoping that, the replacement that was made by Coach Pesero will stand in very well to ensure that we have a good replacement for him. But seriously, we will be missing Victor Boniface because his action, his goal sense, his scoring prowess, for his team in Germany really sends a lot of signal into the heart of our opponent, saying that okay, when this kind of player is on the pitch, when you have a particular player on the pitch, sometimes it sends some kind of warning to the opponent. Some of them will be frightened and thinking that these guys, their presence alone can cause a distraction to the heart of the defender. So we will be missing Victor Boniface. I'm not happy that he will not be there, but I'm hopeful that Terry Murphy will be a better replacement.
Well, for the fact that today Murphy will be actually giving that chance to take that opportunity, well, hopefully, like Afolabi said, he will be able to justify the means of him giving that call up. Right now, Terry Murphy taking the place of Victor Boniface, and we also discovered that Al Hassan taking the place of Wilfred Ndidi. Super Eagles actually they need to fly this time around over there in Cote d'Ivoire. Back to you in the studio, talking about this particular Boniface issue. Well, it's a blow now because a lot of Nigerians want to see Boniface for Bayer Leverkusen. He's been fantastic. Coming to Nigeria, we've seen some games, a few games he has played for Nigeria. He's been showing a lot of action in his football style. But right now, it's not there. Teremofi coming in, at least we know Teremofi has been doing so well with OG Senes.
Well, once upon a time where we lacked options, in the era of the Aminike 2013 AFCON, you know, we were limited in terms of options for strikers.
Yeah.
Yes, but we are quite blessed with attackers this time around that we even have replacements. You know, I wasn't really expecting him to walk into that team with Osimhen there, you know, to replace him. But I was quite happy with his presence there because he's a perfect fit for Osimhen in case there's any issue, and coming off the bench, he can offer something much more than the other players will. But it's a huge blow to the country as well as to his die-hard supporters that are hoping to see him in the Super Eagles colours.
Very painful. Victor Boniface will be going to AFCON right now because news have it that we're going back to Germany for assessment on concerning that particular injury there. Well, we just hope and wish him the best. Quick recovery for Victor Boniface. For Super Eagles, they need to tighten their belt. If they have to fly to do it again over there in AFCON, Cote d'Ivoire is the place. In a couple of days, it will be starting precisely on Saturday. Action will begin there. Well, we move away from Super Eagles. They will continue to give us hypertension. Let's move back to let's move back home. Let's talk about Nigerian football. Nigerian League is getting very, very common right now. Looking at issues that have to do with misconduct by fans. Let's start with the NNL, Nigerian National League, banishes Malumfashi FC from Abubakar Labo Stadium over misconduct of supporters. Well, in fact, they beat up the Sokoto United coach, the players, they were attacked. We couldn't just put the pictures there on the screen because it's too gory. But right now, let's look at the verdict from NNL on Malumfashi FC. Let's look at that particular verdict coming from NNL concerning that team for what they did. That Malumfashi FC is hereby fined the sum of 1 million naira only for causing disturbances during the said match, 500,000 naira for being responsible for the match not being completed for the statutory 90 minutes. Malumfashi shall pay compensation for the following: 215,000 forcefully transferred by the referees to Malumfashi FC officials, 3 missing mobile telephones set at 50,000 naira each, damaged bag with personal belongings, and a lot of issues there. Well, that Abubakar Labo Stadium, Malumfashi is no longer safe to host NNL matches. Therefore, the stadium is hereby banned from hosting any NNL match henceforth. They hereby banished to Kaduna to play their remaining league matches. That the remaining 45 minutes shall be played in Kaduna at a given date. Well, looking at this particular scenario, Isaac Afolabi, I know you've been following these particular teams. It's a big one. When we are already celebrating that our league is getting better, it seems reverse is the case now.
I was highly disappointed with the attitude and the manner at which the game ended. You know, I saw a very ugly video on social media where Mansour Abdullahi, former Super Falcons coach, was beaten. I mean, he was lying down, and a lot of people were coming to him, rushing, giving him some first aid treatments. He's the head coach of Sokoto United. To me, when I saw that video, I think that is a very, very bad one. It's not a good one for our league. It's not a good one. And I must commend George Alu and his team for ruling out such hammer on the teams that faulted. This is not good for our football. This is not good for our league. And if we have to make progress, so we have to stop all this. I think one of the things that they must do again is to read out rules and regulations for them. Let's have a symposium. Let's have a meeting where club owners, because I was meant to understand that even probably the director or the manager or the chairman of that team, what's his name now? I'm trying to remember his name, was also banned for 3 months. Yes. So that means he was also involved in what happened. That's a shame. So I think we should, this time around, call them together probably before the start of the league and let them know that this, if anything should happen, I mean, this is even a light one. I mean, this is a light one for them to be banned to another place. I mean, points should be deducted. A lot of things should be done to them because this is not good. And security, we must say all the teams, this is not only in NLL now, this is also applicable to the Nigerian Professional Football League, that security must be paramount. People coming to watch football, they must know that, yes, they are coming to watch football. something happened, people that are televising, they must be protected. And if they can't do that, then how do you expect investors to invest in our league? So a lot of them will not want to invest in our league because they are afraid of what they will get. They are afraid of the result. Look at the invitation tournament. So one of the there was this tournament, and referees, even in the AFCON, how many of the Nigerian referees were invited? These are disturbing issues. None of them. You understand? And why? Because of this, some of the result, negative result that are getting. So to me, I'm not happy with what happened between Sokoto United and Malu Fashin, and I think that the NNL have done a good job to investigate and sanction those that were involved in that thing. And I want to believe that such thing will not raise its ugly head again.
Well, hopefully, while we are actually talking about the Nigerian National League, we cross over to the senior level. We talk about the MPFL, Nigerian Premier Football League. It's also happened there. We look at this. MPFL hammer falls on Kano Pillars, Gombe United, Remo Stars, Sunshine Stars. These clubs, all of them are actually airing clubs right now because of what happened. We quickly look at the MPFL values on each of the clubs. It's a big one right now. We're talking about NNL, now the MPFL. Something must be done. Look at Kano Pillars. Kano Pillars fined 12.250 million for various offences in their last home match against Plateau United, 10 million for delaying smooth transmission of the live broadcast, 1 million for misconduct capable of bringing the match to disrepute, 250,000 naira as compensation to the injured assistant referee Sadiq Adijumon. Kano Pillars to play their next home game before the mid-season behind closed doors. That's for Kano Pillars. We look at Gombe United, Raymond Star. The table toppers have been fined 1 million for failing to provide adequate and effective security, and also being ordered to deploy a more effective security arrangement in their remaining home matches at the half of 48 hours to the appeal. From there, let's look at Gombe. Gombe United deducted 3 points, 3 goals, fined 3 million naira, head coach suspended for 3 matches for assault case in a game against Rivers United on Sunday. This is getting more incensant now. The center referee Said Abdulaziz and assistant referee Cletus Adewebi, well, the club will play their next home matches at the Bantamin Stadium without fans before the mid-season break. That's for Gombe United. And the last one says that's with Sunshine Stars have been also breached MPFL 24 rules. Well, from the way it is right now, Sunshine Star goalkeeper Latif Ishola is suspended for the next 3 matches for reacting violently to a ball boy. I don't know what the boy did to him anyway. He overreacted. Sunshine Stars have been issued a warning of any similar occurrence of the misconduct in their remaining fixtures. This is becoming worrisome, Isaac. Well, your team is also part of it. Sunshine Stars, they got the hammer too. But right now, we just saw 4 verdicts coming from MPFL to these 4 clubs: Kano Pillars, Remo Stars, Gombe United, and Sunshine Stars of Akure. This is worrisome.
I think Kano Pillars are yet to learn from what happened to them previous season. 3 points were deducted from Kano Pillars, which sent them to relegation. And, coming back this time around, I think they should be more prepared and know that similar things should not happen. But it's sad that Kano Pillars is still finding himself in this kind of very, very ugly incident. And I think Elegbele and his crew are also doing well to ensure that they bring in sanity, discipline into the team. There must be discipline in Nigerian football. If we have to make progress, there must be discipline. We must do everything possible. I remember reading a story about JJ Okocha, former Nigerian captain, who was not happy with the conduct of Nigerians, saying that Nigerian league is not living up to expectations. Now, this kind of incidents will give such ex-international a leverage to talk. When players, I was so pained by what happened to Sunshine Stars goalkeeper because I know that, when you have ball boys, yes, most times home teams, the ball boys and the rest of them, they like to hide balls, they like to, throw 2 balls on the pitch, just to cause some distractions and the rest of them. But, as a footballer, I think there must be some kind of discipline, for you not to attack the ball boy. We've not seen the video, but anything that has happened, I think that they must learn a lesson now. But particularly, Kano Pillars is a big team, is a big brand in Nigeria. They should learn from what happened to them last week. And Gombe United, 3 points deducted from them and banishing them to another place. I think that is the right thing to do. And kudos to MPFL board for doing that.
Well, from the way it is right now, looking at this situation, Opa Josiah, something must be done quickly because it's like they are taking it for granted now.
Absolutely. This is a recurrent issue in Nigerian football. But as a person, I do believe in anticipating and controlling problem than allowing it to come, then looking for cure. There are certain indices that should be in place for a team to participate in whether the National League or the NPFL. And when these indices are not met, when these stamps are not met by the team, I don't see reasons why those teams should be allowed to participate in such league, in such tournaments. So the Nigerian League, kudos to the committee, to the judge for the verdict so far. I'm glad that we are seeing this kind of punishment being meted out. But I wish, just like he said, more points will be deducted. We've seen it happen in the Premier League, and a team got relegated as a result of that. A lot have been banished from participating in tournaments. I don't know if a harsh punishment will work, but I just feel from the head, from the coordinators, from the organizers, they should make it clear, if you do this is the stringent punishment, and for you to participate in this league, you must have so number of securities, do this, do that. And I believe we're good to go. They must be disciplined, but at the same time, the fans are always causing disruption. And going to an extent of orienting these fans, having like a form of dishing out information for them to know that they are costing us. We are not generating enough revenues, and you are causing us more problem. Look at the fine attached to all these things. 1 million, 12 million, thereabout. You know, it's quite disheartening, from attacking officials to referees. We've gone way past this.
Just hope that our league will get sanitized. They're really working hard to see everything done well. We talk about MPF and also the NNL verdict there coming from the organizers there. Quickly, we talk about 2 months before we wrap it up. Let's talk about the man who really, one of the greatest when it comes to playing football. His name, Beckenbauer. If you follow German football, he has done it as a coach. He also did it as a player. Well, the man is gone home now. He actually died on Monday. Frank Beckenbauer, German footballer, legend, dies at 78. He did so well. Let's look at his lifetime while he was playing football. Let's look at that particular story concerning him. He won the World Cup as a captain of West Germany in 1974 and lifted the trophy again as manager in 1990. Few set of players that actually did that, nicknamed the Kaiser as a player. He also won the European Championship in 1972 as well as the Ballon d'Or twice. He scored 4 goals at the 96 World Cup, age 20, and won the award for the tournament's best young player. Beckenbauer is one of the only 3 men to have lifted the World Cup as both a player and a manager, along with Brazil's Mario Zagallo, who died just last week, and Francis Didier Deschamps there. As a player of Bayern, Beckenbauer won 4 league titles and was captain for the German Giant 3 European Cup wins in 1974, 75, and 76. He was a primarily a defender, played 582 times for Bayern, and won the German top flight as both a player and manager. He won the Bundesliga with Hamburg in 1982 and went on to play 103 times for West Germany. Well, Isaac Afolabi, the man is gone home now, celebrating his lifetime as a footballer, coach, player. Isaac Afolabi, let's talk about him briefly. Beckenbauer.
Yeah, you know, when I heard the news and read it, it was sad because some of these guys are great players, great coaches that a lot of players look up to them. In Germany, in Bayern Munich, he was a legend, and a lot of players look up to him. You know, like Michael Ballack and the rest of them. He has won the World Cup, a lot of experience for them, and I hope that their legacies will be, you know, carried on. To me, he has done so much for football. You know, he's won the Ballon d'Or, you know, he's won the World Cup, and of course, as a player and as a manager, just few of them have been able to achieve that in the 1990 and of course in the 1972, 1976 as well. So these are great men, and Zagallo as well. You know, so sad. You know, I remember watching Zagallo as a head coach of the Brazilian national team doing so well. These are people that we grew up, you know, to watch, you know, playing football. So is not a good one, but of course. They are aged, and we hope that most of the things that they've been able to achieve as a footballer, as a manager, will be carried out very well by their team.
Well, just to let you know that the man has gone to rest for Manchester United. He's celebrating the defeat. They were able to win their game. But our time is off. We just have to go right now. FA Cup, Man United beat Wigan to reach 4th round. Congrats to them, but they just have to be ready to face the Aquilian Tars ahead of them. The higher they go, the tougher it becomes. Well, on the show, Isaac Afolabi, we want to appreciate you for joining us from Akure. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Adeni, and always a pleasure to talk to you on sports.
Good one. Thank you so much, Isaac Afolabi. And Opa Josiah.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure.
The man that looks like Arsenal player. Thank you guys for joining us on the show. 360 Sport on Trust TV. I'm Madini.